We're going to talk about best practices in our Coastal City kids, toddlers, and babies environments. There's a lot of things that we can do to promote positive behavior and just really engaging lessons. And that's the engaging lesson part is what's going to encourage the positive behavior that we want from the kids so that they can have the best time and you can have the best time and everybody has a great time and they can go home telling their parents that they want to come back again. First thing is when the kids enter the environment, no matter what age it is, if it's babies, toddlers, or the elementary school, you want to greet the kid first. Tell them hello. If you don't know them yet, ask them their name, and then engage with the parents after you've engaged with the kid first. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel welcome, and it makes the parents see that you want a relationship with their child first. When they come in, get them involved, whether it's starting a game with the kids or having them jump in with the other kids who are already there. Make sure that they're not coming in and just standing off to the side. Like get them into something in here so that even if it's a few minutes before service or the lesson starts, you want to get them involved. Once a lesson starts is when you have some sometimes behavioral challenges, and that's okay. These are kids, they're wiggly and they want to talk, and that's fun. That's what can make your lesson and your time with them so lively and fun and create relationships. You want to be excited about the lesson. They are going to feed off of your excitement. So if you get them pumped up, even if it's like way out of your comfort zone to be, hyper and excited, they're going to love that. So really, challenge yourself even to get pretty psyched about whatever it is that you're talking about. We have lots of different areas that the children will be engaging with the lesson, whether it's through video, song and dance, a little lesson discussion that you guys will have, or an activity craft, something like that, a game sometimes. Each of those things are to meet the needs of different learners that we have in the classroom, because you're going to have some kids who can sit there and listen to a long conversation. You'll have other kids who they're not going to catch anything from that, but they will from a video. You'll have some kids who need something hands-on, which is why we'll do crafts or activities sometimes. And then you'll have really competitive people like myself who learn the most from a game. And so we want to meet all those needs. And so if you can, try really hard to wrangle the kids maybe who don't, who maybe aren't super interested in the video or super interested in the discussion. And some different ways that you can do that are if everyone is sitting on the floor to watch the video, sit down on the floor with them. They want to see you doing the exact same thing that you're expecting of them, and that promotes the kind of behavior that you want from the children. Sometimes positive placement of yourself, if you sit down next to the kid who might be a little chatty or a little wiggly or whatever, that can make them straighten up really quick too. And that's not to thwart them. The purpose of that is to make sure that the ones who are interested are having that right to learning, because they all have the right to learn, but nobody has the right to distract someone else from learning. So we want to make sure that we encourage this environment that whatever kind of learner we have in here, that they can engage well with that area of the classroom and they're not being distracted from that. So it's really a fun time during this hour. You're not going to have a whole bunch of behavioral issues. You won't, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have everything prepared for you. And so when we have two teachers in here, part of that is for bathroom breaks because there will be kids who need to go to the bathroom and you always need an adult in here. But then also if there is someone who is being a little too distracting and maybe needs someone to sit next to them or needs someone to walk them outside for just a minute just to take a break, not because they're in trouble, but just to take a break from the environment, then you can do that without interrupting the lesson for the kids who are paying attention. So again, the last thing that we want to do is invite a parent back upstairs because their kid is not listening well. I'm sure that that they don't want to leave their service either. So we want to do everything we can to create a really fun time for the kids up here without having to re-involve the parents. And so that's the last step that you want to move into. So there's lots of other things you can do before that, like we said, sitting down next to the kid, talking with them outside if you need to, just even placing your hand on their back to get their attention, to let them know that you see that they're not exactly doing what everyone else is doing. But all of these things work really well together to create that positive learning environment where the kids feel the most comfortable. Now that's predominantly talking about what goes on in the oldest classroom with our Coastal City kids. With our toddlers, that's more behavioral issues is going to be missing the parents and wanting their mommy or daddy to come back upstairs to get them, and not wanting that separation. So in that regard, all you need to do is just find distractions, find things that they're going to be interested in. When you're reading the Bible story or going through the lesson with these children, a crying kid will be a distraction. So you might use your second teacher again to remove them from the environment just for a short time, and then bring them back in for the play time and engaging them again. Sometimes they just need a lap to sit in. Sometimes they just need to be held. And so, testing out different strategies there, rather than, either letting them cry or, quickly calling on their parents. That again is going to be the last thing that we want to do. But it's okay to do that, because a parent doesn't want their child up here crying for the entire time either. So don't, that's not an off limits thing. You want to make sure that you've tried other tactics first though. With our babies, again, that's going to be just more discomfort and missing mommy and daddy. And so similar tactics there. Try to find distractions, pacifiers, bottles, whatever it is that the parents give you, to promote that behavior that will make everybody have a good and enjoyable time and want to come back.